Paystack Mafia. In October 2020, Stripe acquired a Nigerian startup called Paystack for over $200 million. It was the biggest startup exit Nigeria had ever seen. But that's not the story. The real story is what happened after. Because in the years that followed, the people who built Paystack started leaving, and they weren't building side projects. They were building what could become the next generation of African tech companies. And when you look at the pattern closely, it starts to look a lot like something that happened in Silicon Valley 20 years ago. This is the story of the Paystack Mafia, the PayPal parallel. To understand why this matters, you have to go back to the late 1990s. Two startups, Confinity, founded by Peter Thiel and Max Levchin, and X.com, founded by Elon Musk, merged to form PayPal. In 2002, eBay acquired PayPal for $1.5 billion. But the team didn't scatter. They stayed connected, they backed each other. And from that one company came Tesla, SpaceX, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Palantir. That's what made the PayPal Mafia legendary. Not just that they were successful individually, but that they became a tightly connected network of builders who reshaped entire industries. They multiplied. And today, that same pattern is playing out in Nigeria. The origin of Paystack. Shola Akinlade and Ezra Olubi met at Babcock University in Ogun State, where they both studied computer science. They were course mates, friends, and by their final year, they were already working on projects together. After graduating, they went their separate ways for a while. Shola started his career at Heineken as a management trainee, later founded a software consulting company, and built an open-source collaboration tool called Precurio. But the payment problem in Nigeria never left his mind. Then, sometime around 2015, something clicked. Sometime in 2015, I figured out I could charge a card from my computer. I thought it was cool, Shola later recalled. He showed it to a friend who told him, "This is a company. This is Stripe." That moment crystallized what Shola had been seeing for years. Nigerian businesses were struggling to accept payments online. The existing options were slow, technical, and unreliable, and nobody had built anything that just worked, the way Stripe worked in the US. They started with a simple mission: make it ridiculously easy for African businesses to accept payments from anyone, anywhere in the world. The early code was written in a small Lagos apartment. Before they even launched publicly, they talked to business owners first, understanding the problem before touching the product. In 2016, Paystack was accepted into Y Combinator. It became the first Nigerian company accepted into the program. When Shola got to San Francisco and someone asked him how many people were in Africa, he said 1 billion. That was the moment he understood how big this could be. By the time 2018, Paystack was handling over 15% of all online payments in Nigeria. By the time Stripe came calling in 2020, over 60,000 businesses were using the platform. Paystack was not for sale when Stripe approached us, Shola said, but the mission aligned. Stripe would help Paystack move faster on the continent, so they said yes. The deal closed at over $200 million, Nigeria's largest startup exit at the time, and Stripe's biggest acquisition ever. Why Paystack was a training ground. Here's what made Paystack different from a typical tech employer. It wasn't just a place to work, it was a masterclass in building. First, they hired for potential, not pedigree. A lot of the people who joined early were young, unproven, and given real responsibility from day one. Second, employees weren't just executing tasks. They were solving problems, talking to customers, and making actual operational decisions. It felt less like a job and more like learning how to run a company. And third, the environment itself was a teacher. Nigeria is one of the hardest markets in the world to build payments infrastructure. Unstable networks, strict financial regulation, low consumer trust. Every day was a pressure test. When people left to start their own companies, the founders didn't resist it. They invested in them. That's how networks are built. The companies they built. Mono. One of the first major departures was Abdul Hamid Hassan. He joined Paystack in 2019 as a product manager, and less than a year later, he left to start building in the open banking space. In August 2020, he co-founded Mono, a platform that gives businesses APIs to access customer bank accounts with user consent, enabling lenders to assess creditworthiness through real transaction data. The idea came from a personal frustration. Hassan and his co-founder had built a side project to see all their bank balances in one place. A Medium post about the API behind it sparked unexpected interest. When Carbon's CEO reached out asking to use it commercially, Hassan was hesitant. Okra, a competitor, already had more funding, but Carbon tested Mono's API, loved its speed, and pushed him to build a company. Today, 5 years later, Mono has processed over 150 billion transactions through its platform, served more than 7 million users, and expanded into Kenya and Ghana. It partnered with MasterCard in 2024 in the first account-to-account payment via MasterCard Gateway in the entire EMEA region. And then, in January 2026, the biggest move yet, Africa's largest fintech company, Flutterwave, acquired Mono in an all-stock transaction valued between $25 and $40 million. Some early backers saw paper returns up to 20x, a rare outcome in a difficult funding environment for African startups. It will continue operating as an independent product within Flutterwave's platform, a Paystack alumni exit acquired by a Paystack-backed ecosystem, the network compounding on itself. Gray. Ida Renyen Obang, a former Android engineer at Paystack, left and co-founded Gray in 2020, originally called Aboki Africa. The company gives Africans digital foreign bank accounts in USD, BGP, and EUR, making it easier to receive international payments as a freelancer, remote worker, or entrepreneur. Gray joined Y Combinator in 2022, raised $2 million in seed funding, and by August 2024 had grown to over 1 million users. It's since kept expanding, launching in Morocco and Egypt in late 2025, targeting North Africa's $64 billion annual remittance market, and now supports transfers to over 170 countries. Most recently, in early 2026, Gray launched Gray Business, a corporate account product allowing African companies to open USD accounts, make global payments, and transact in stablecoins like USDC and USDT. Brass. Emmanuel Okeke moved from senior engineer to technical lead at Paystack in 2020. In 2020, he co-founded Brass, a digital bank built specifically for African small and medium businesses. Backed by Paystack CTO Ezra Olubi and Flutterwave CEO Olbenga Agbula, Brass raised $1.7 million in seed funding. But Brass ran into serious trouble. In 2023, customers reported difficulties accessing deposits, and by mid-2024, the company had completely halted withdrawals. It was a bruising public failure. Paystack led an acquisition consortium alongside PiggyVest, Ventures Platform, and others to take over Brass and stabilize it. The co-founders exited without financial compensation. As of early 2025, Brass was planning a public relaunch with a reduced team and a rebranding campaign aimed at rebuilding customer trust. It's a sobering reminder that being a Paystack alumni doesn't guarantee success. Some companies in this network will fail. That's part of the story too. Chowdeck. 2 early Paystack employees left to build Chowdeck, a food delivery startup focused on speed and reliability for Nigerian cities. Shola Akinlade and Ezra Olubi themselves invested in it, as did the co-founders of Rappi, Latin America's largest delivery platform. Chowdeck has stayed profitable in a notoriously tough, low-margin market, and in August 2025 raised $9 million in Series A funding led by Novastar Ventures, with Y Combinator also participating. It now operates in 11 cities across Nigeria and Ghana, serving 1.5 million customers through a network of more than 20,000 riders, with an average delivery time of 30 minutes. In June 2025, Chowdeck acquired Mira, a restaurant point-of-sale startup, positioning itself as a vertically integrated logistics and software company for African food businesses. Their goal is to become Africa's #1 super app. And the others. The list keeps going. Malik Belugan, who led Paystack's financial crimes compliance unit, left to co-found StartButton, helping startups accept payments and manage compliance across African markets without needing local offices, now operating in Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, Rwanda, and South Africa. Paystack itself later partnered with StartButton for merchant expansion. Kose left to co-found Betty, a Y Combinator-backed corporate card and spend management startup for African businesses. Jimmy Quaife left to build MoneyCo, a digital bank targeting African migrants in Europe, which also joined Y Combinator. Douglas Kyson, one of